inside the Adria Trent 552. First we will go to the master switch just here and turn the 12 volt on. This needs to be on to power up the caravan, but secondly, when you're hooked up to the main supply, we need this on to be able to charge the leisure battery. After that, I will now turn on the water pump. This pump needs to be on so we can get water out of the taps, fill the boiler up if it's been drained. You will see above we are displaying the voltage of the leisure battery, and then we have all the light switches and a main socket just here. Next we have the location of the boiler. So if I now just remove these cushions and place them over the other side, we will now flip up just here and you will see the trimmer boiler just here. To drain this boiler for winterization and for travel, all we do is we come to this yellow lever here, make sure that the water pump is turned off, and then just flap it up, and then all the water is jettisoned out of the boiler underneath the caravan at this point here. To refill this boiler back up again, flap it back over like so, fill up the aqua roll with water, drop your submersible in, turn the water pump on, and then the boiler will begin filling itself back up again. It is always a good idea when fully winterizing the van, once you've drained water out of this boiler, also make sure you lift up all of the taps and put them into the open position. That way, if there is a harsh frost, hopefully the water will be forced out the end of the taps into an icicle instead of expanding in the pipework and splitting it. Also in here you will see the gas isolation tap for the heating and hot water system. It is in the on position, and quite frankly it can stay like that. I always say, smell gas in the van, go and turn the gas bottle off. If I now undo this catch here and drop down, you will see we have the battery charger just here, the 12 volt fuses just here, and they are all labelled up, and then tucked underneath here we have the control board for the motor mover. If we now drop this back down again, there we go. And then if we come just above it, we have the switches for hot water and heating, and again we then have main socket here, a 12 volt socket, an aerial fly lead point for television, and TV bracket just here. These two switches here control the hot water. One is for hot water on gas and the other one is for electric. Easy to tell them apart. You will see that this one has 230 volt here and also has EL for electric. So if we start with the top one here, to heat your hot water on gas, firstly make sure that you've taken the flue cover off outside, and then pick the water temperature. Flick it up for hot water at about 50 degrees and flick it down for hot water at about 70 degrees. If it fails to light, a red light will appear just here, and then it's just diagnosing the reason why. Have I run out of gas? Have I turned the gas bottle on? Is there air in the system that just needs to be purged out? So then we just turn it off and turn it back on again. Or have I forgot to take the flue cover off? Next we have hot water on electricity, and then very similar to gas, flick it up for hot water at about 50 degrees and flick it down for hot water at about 70. If you want virtually instant hot water, you can use them both at the same time. This is also really handy if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other. Underneath that, we then have the controls for the electric element in the fire just here. So to turn it on, you will see that we have an outer dial here, and if I now flick it up, we are now heating our mains electricity using 2 kilowatts. If I now flick it back to the off position and then flick it down, we're now heating on electric at about 500 watts, and then flick it down again, mains electricity at about 1 kilowatt. This is very handy depending on the amperage of the site that you're on. You can limit yourself and hopefully avoid tripping. I will now stick it back onto 2 kilowatts, and then the inner dial controls the temperature. Underneath this bench seat just here is storage that we can also gain access from outside. As we now move across, we have the basin just here, and then the 3-ring gas burner. To light, just push in, twist and press the igniter. Just like so. Then we have the oven and the grill. Push in to the left for the oven. And then if I go back to off, push in and to the right for the grill. There we go. Directly underneath, again we have more gas isolation points just in here for the oven, hob, fridge, and for the gas fire. Freestanding table just in this cupboard here. Here we have the washroom. So we have the shower just here, and then the Thetford cassette toilet just here. To open to the cassette, just literally pull this lever here, and then to flush, just press the blue button just here. Close back up again, and then we will also get an indicator just here to let you know when the cassette is full. Pull down for the basin, and then we also have the vanity cabinet just here. The Thetford fridge freezer turns on this switch here. This is an automatic model, so as long as you're on A for auto, it will find the best power source it can for you. So because we're currently hooked up to main supply, it's put us onto mains electricity with the little picture of the 2-pin plug. If I was now to run outside and pull the mains lead out, it would then automatically attempt to fire itself up onto gas, and as soon as we hitch up to the tow vehicle and start the engine, it will then automatically go over to 12 volt maintain. We can take it out of auto just by pressing this button here, so we can manually put it onto mains, manually put it onto 12 volt maintain. We are going to get an error code at the moment and a red flashing light because we are not hitched up to a tow vehicle. And I can also manually put it onto gas. Auto is most definitely the easiest setting to have it on. Temperature control just here, and then to open just here. To operate the fire on gas, just come to this dial here and twist it, and you will hear the igniter begin to spark. Then just hold it down, and once you can no longer hear the igniter, it's usually a fairly good indication that it's lit. Let go and you can usually hear a whoosh. If you wish to double check, you can also peer through the pilot light just here. Regardless whether you are using the fire on mains electricity or gas, this dial here controls the circulation fan that then blows all the air out of all your air ducts. So if we now flick it onto M for manual, that will then turn it on, and then we control the fan speed just here. A stands for automatic, which is not an option in this model of caravan. And then if it's a warm day and we just want to circulate the air, we can then put it onto this one here, and the fan will then spin even faster. If you ever turn this and you can no longer hear a sparking noise, it may be that the battery needs replacing. The battery is located at the bottom of the unit just here. It is just an AA battery just there. We then have the wardrobe just here. In the wardrobe you will find the consumer. So we have the individual MCBs just here, the RCD and the test button. So if you've got no main supply, just come and check in here first. And then we have the location of the Vision Plus television aerial. This particular one has a signal finder actually in the amplifier itself, so the colour of the light here depicts the signal strength. All we then do is we just undo the collar just here, raise the aerial up and twist it around until we've got a nice green onto the signal finder just here. You can control the boost just here as well. You will also see a H for horizontal. If we turn the tail here, we can flip it to vertical if you need to do more additional tuning. Do make sure that the aerial is down for travel, and do not over tighten these collars because they will split. And we can also turn the amplifier on and off on the top here. We then have the double bed, and beneath this we have ample storage. And then storage to the rear as well.